Another beautiful day, another semen retention video. A woman is your mirror. Now, if you're one of those men who have been running away from women for the past few years of your life because of whatever trauma you've been in, you can either skip this video or you can watch it and possibly get a new perspective that might actually help you advance in life. Well, here it is. A woman is your mirror. What do I mean by that? There is a particular type of man when he is dealing with a woman, and I'll tell you how this ties into semen retention towards the middle of this video. You'll understand it. It'll all come together full circle. Once you understand that a woman is a reflection of where you are in your life, not who you're pretending to be, not who you're projecting, not this collage, this external facade. It's not the money that you made. It's not the muscles that you put on your body. It's not the beard that you grew. It's not the tattoos that you put on. None of that. All of that is external, right? And when I tell you that a woman is a purest reflection of where you are, is when you actually fall in love or develop some sort of intimacy and feelings towards one another. When that happens, if you are a man who's been playing this alpha role because he was hurt when he was 25 years old, you're gonna figure out if you're actually who you are claiming to be, or you're still the guy who got hurt and beat up at 25 years old. Grasp this very carefully. Once a woman's connected to you and you are connected to her, her reactions to you emotionally, her subconscious reactions to your behavior are an exact reflection of who you really are. Meaning, if she starts disrespecting you, or she starts cheating on you, or not caring if you're walking out of the picture anymore, that's exactly who you are. She knows that you have no frame. She knows that you have zero ability to claim her in a masculine way because you have no frame. None, zero, zilch. Now, you can look like you can have frame. You can have tons of money. You can have muscles. You can have new girls that you're sleeping with every day. But here's the thing. If you're this guy, the moment that any woman actually connects to you, it's done. Meaning she's gonna feel it instinctively. She's gonna feel who you actually are. That's the beautiful part about it. She is a perfect reflection of what you are hiding. Now, you might be a guy who has no masculine characteristics on the surface. Maybe you don't have much muscles. Maybe you don't go to the gym. Maybe you don't think, but your inner core, your inner framework is solid. And that woman's gonna stay with that man, believe it or not, because hypergamy, and I tell this all the time, get this into people's head, hypergamy is a feeling. It's not a physical result. It's not, she doesn't leave one man for money for more money. That's just a hooker. When you're dealing with healthy women, she leaves for the perceived feeling of power and strength. Feeling. That means a broke man can give that feeling much more than a man who's highly successful and still win out of that situation, right? So if you know this, if you figure this out, that is the case, the question becomes not should you hate women or should you avoid them altogether. The question is, are you ready for one? That's the real question. Once you delete the damaged bats and you get right down to the core and you get a good woman, are you ready for one? Because if you're not, and you've been spending your life, again, building yourself into this alpha male you think you are, the moment you are connected to her, all of the truth is going to come to the surface. This is a beautiful thing for you because this will actually show you where you truly are. It's gonna show you who is actually steering the ship of your subconscious, as opposed to who you are playing and what part you have manufactured to get the attention of whoever. This is why I look at these scenarios and all these like alpha males on the internet and I laugh. I say, you know what? Let me pick a woman, let me place that woman in his life, and you'll watch. She'll eventually leave, even if he's a millionaire, even if he has all the money in the world, even if he has physical looks, she will leave him for somebody who projects the feeling that is required, the feeling of hypergamy, the feeling of strength, the feeling of the provider. Even if he's not there yet, even if he's not wealthy, Just the feeling that he might be there in a week or a year or 5 years is more than somebody she deems as weak. That's the truth. So how does this tie into semen retention? I'll tell you this. There is no bigger negotiating tactic than walking away. Meaning, if somebody walks away, there's nothing to negotiate with. By doing semen retention, it puts you in a place psychologically and emotionally and even physically, where you physically feel things, where you're not willing to compromise anymore. You are no longer dependent on a broken dopamine system that she has the keys to. Plain and simple. You have basically taken the keys away from her, put them in your pocket, and walked away. And that's why semen retention is one of the most valuable practices on this planet for a man, especially today in 2025, because it enables you to have the strength, the perception, and when you are no longer hooked to the behavior of addicted perpetual cycles of dopamine, when you take that back, you have no issue walking away. When things are not working out the way they should, you're in a much, much easier place to choose your peace than stick around for the suffering because you want to get laid. You should actually incorporate women into your life in order to see where you're at. If you are the alpha dog that you claim to be, and the woman starts disrespecting you, by the way, only healthy women we're talking about, because the damaged ones don't count. They're gonna do that to everybody, and you shouldn't be picking those women. You can use them the same way you use a mirror in your house to see what you look like before you go out, to see if you're presentable. You can use a woman and get in relationships with women in order to see what your internal makeup is, who you actually are at the core, because that's what she's put on earth for. She's put on earth to either make you crumble or make you succeed. And that's all dependent on your internal makeup. So if you are not built from the floor up, if you are somebody who's pretending to be something you're not, then dating is going to be miserable for you. You're going to be one of those guys who publishes a bunch of material on how women are horrible and swallow the red pill and they're all going to divorce you and take your money and just be the antithesis of women. But here's the reality, dude. You're a man. Who are you fighting with? If you're an actual man, you would understand that there's no fight to be had. Zero. It's a one. You've built everything in existence. Look at this. You see the city? Take a look around. You see all this? Everything you're looking at, including these trees, were built by men. All of them. Everything in human existence has come from a man. And here you are trying to fight a woman. Like, where's the logic? Does that seem very masculine to you? Let women fight women. If you want to pick a fight with another man. Don't stick around through disrespect and argue and fight back and say, but you did this. And she's like, but you did this. You did this. You're basically becoming feminized to her. You're doing her game. You're doing what she does with her girlfriends when they're angry at each other. Instead of what a real man does is the moment he figures out that there's any disrespect, he leaves. He walks away because she's not worth it to him. That is the most powerful thing you can do. Not sit there and fight with her, not sit there and argue with her. That means she's on your level. That means she's a worthy opponent psychologically. What? Look, this building right here is the Flatiron building, okay? Built by men. And you're gonna tell me that you're sitting here right now arguing with some woman. You're sitting here trying to get your point across. There is no point to get across, my friends. If she does things that are not in alignment with your values, you just leave. That is the most masculine thing you can do. And if you're the type of man to sit there and fight with her, she's eventually gonna leave you. In the beginning, she might enjoy the drama and the anticipation of the back and forth temporarily, but ultimately, just for the fact that you're engaging on that level is going to lower your perceived value. Because it's true. There's nobody to fight with. There's nobody to throw darts at. There's nobody to accuse you of anything. You're just gone. Like that person never existed. That is true strength. For a man, his emotional value is time. Time and material. For a woman, her emotional value is attention and validation. If you starve a woman of attention and validation, it is the exact equivalent of you, a man, going broke. That's it. That's their currency. They don't need much else, believe it or not. You may think they need money, but money doesn't actually solve the emotional equation. That's just a temporary band-aid. That's just something that brings them to you temporarily. That don't keep them. If you're the type of guy that has the ability to walk away and not compromise, congratulations, welcome to the club. For the rest of you who are sitting there saying women are the problem, they're crazy, they're illogical, they're emotional, and you continue to fight with them to the point where you just give up completely, well, you got work to do, my friend. Allow a woman to be your reflection because God intended it to be that way. She is there to help you. If she leaves you, she's showing you a door of where you need to evolve. If a healthy woman leads you, and you can either accept that and you can make the changes, or you can sit there and blame women that they're the problem, blah, 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 blah. And that you're just basically doing what a woman does. You're basically becoming a woman. You're taking no accountability. You're basically projecting on the opposite thing instead of yourself. Through the reflection of a woman's gaze, you get to see who you actually are and what you are actually made of. And either that will transform you to become great in life, or that will destroy your life, depending on your character. You guys know I am the accountability king. Everything. Everything. Take accountability for everything. So that's the lesson for today. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.